2019 Kia Soul. So all of the videos that I've seen have been based on the earlier models. Even though it's a generation 2, they don't necessarily have a honeycomb like that. So I wanted to at least show something that had the honeycomb and how to cut it out. And let me be specific about something. I left one space intact. From here to here is 5.5 inches. That should be enough for most base plates. So from here to here, 5.5 inches, okay? Are there going to be some base plates that need more? I don't know. Blue Ox, Demco, and Roadmaster should fit in that space. You got plenty of honeycomb left, but I would try to keep it, you know, right there. At least it looks like it belongs. Again, that's what it looks like whole. So on this side, I'm going to go from basically here, here, and here over to here and take that chunk out. So I'm going to go ahead and knock that out, and then everything else that I've seen in the other videos from like E-Trailer and places are pretty much straightforward as far as getting this off. There's a bolt under here, same on the other side. You got to take the thing off the bottom and it just peels off. So I'll try to show you some of that, but I just want to get to some of the intricacies that, like I said, the E-Trailer video doesn't have. Exactly how big to make that hole, how to do these holes and make them easier. And then once I get in there, I'm going to show you how to grind off some of that stuff to make it relatively straightforward. When I mentioned honeycomb, that's your honeycomb. So your base plate's going to have to come out of here. So in order for that to happen, you're going to have to cut a section out, about 5 inches. So what I'm using to cut is a simple Harbor Freight small hacksaw, nothing more, nothing less. And I'm just making ever so slight cuts. Over here, you can see where I've started. Notice I'm starting with the bumper on. To try to do this later is going to be a pain. I've seen them do it, it just doesn't work well. And what we're going to do is we're going to get right in the comb like this, and you're just going to lightly saw. All right. And then once you're through, you have to get that out, but it's just a matter of bending this back and it falls out. So I've got 2 more pieces to do, here and here, and it should drop out. So now I'm on my last piece. And you really kind of just want to stay high if you can. Boom, and she's out. So this is where my base plate's actually going to come through, okay? I can see now that a lot of this is going to be just a lot of easy trim stuff. That has to get trimmed, but again, between that and a pair of shears, I'll be able to get her done. I'm also going to use a file, and I'm just going to file down some areas to make it kind of sort of look like something was supposed to be there that was added later. So I'll be back. So you remember when I told you I want to talk about the things that they don't tell you in the video? You see that clip at the bottom? You want to go out of your way to keep that clip, because if you don't, this is going to flap around in there. So you want to try to keep that clip as much as possible. So cut under it and kind of cut up, and you should clear. All right, so with a little bit of time and energy, it's off. Now, can you see why I said cut those while it was on the car? So much easier. So much easier. But in the E-Trailer video, they didn't do that. And they really didn't even show it. So much easier. Matter of fact, when I get done, I'm probably going to relocate those too. But so couple of things we got to do. I got to yank this sensor and move it. And this bumper is going to come off. And then what's going to happen is the base plate is going to get sandwiched in between the frame and this bumper. So that's what we're looking at. The air dam here, I'm going to have to trim, as I said before. But, yeah, that's what it looks like with everything yanked off. Coolant and all that good stuff. So, this is what your 2000-something Kia Soul will look like once you've yanked off the bumper. All right, so once you're under the car, there's some bolts and things that need to be undone. We're gonna go ahead and knock those out, and I'm going to get this bottom cover off. So let's get that done. So, sorry to interrupt the video, but Demco unfortunately sent E-Trailer, which is the company that I bought this base plate from, sent them a defective part. And in turn, of course, I get the defective part. It's the last one E-Trailer has in stock, and there's nothing that they can do until the 14th. So, lesson learned. Always call the manufacturer. Don't call the dealer that sold you the product. Here is why. I got on the phone with Demco this morning about 11:30. Explained to them what happened, and they said to me, you know, send me a couple pictures. We need to see what's going on. So I sent them some pictures, same pictures I sent E-Trailer. So the guy calls me back and he says, you know, I can't really see what's going on. Can you send me pictures of just the base plate so we can see where it's off and try to make them as level as possible? So I did. So Mike calls me back. He says, it's obvious that we made a mistake. Now, how many companies do you know will come out and cleanly say they made a mistake? Not many. After that, he says, you know, I'm going to get it out to you. The fastest I can do it is 2 days, but I'm waiting on UPS and FedEx, and it just depends. They haven't been the most reliable. So I'm like, okay, it's the best I can do at this point. They never asked me for the other one back first. They didn't do anything or say anything, you know, out of the way about it was possibly dropped in shipping. They made zero excuses. They just wanted to make sure that I had a base plate that worked. So in the next couple of days, I'm hoping and praying that I will have a base plate. When I do get the base plate, I will show you how I mounted it up. I'll show you how it should look when it's lined up. And again, I'm going to show you the things that E-Trailer doesn't show in their video. So, unfortunately, I got a bad base plate. I got to make the best of the situation. The good news is my trip is another 3 weeks out. So if I had to put this project off, I would have been up the creek. And so at least I had sense enough to at least start the project and figure out, you know, what I needed to do. I will also make sure that I put a link to my website where I have all of the pictures of what I did. So at least you have an idea. The most important thing is make sure that, you know, these bullet points that I'm saying, like E-Trailer doesn't show you, make sure you pay attention to those, because it's those little fine, minute points that's going to keep you from having to go back into this installation later and fix stuff because they were just a little vague. And it's not their fault. It's just what it is. So, on to the next segment. Bad base plate number 2. So the new base plate's here. Clearly, the old one was not sitting in the jig properly. This one is significantly straighter, and we're going to go ahead and rip this car apart again, and I'll start taking video of how I get it up onto the bumper once I get everything mated, and I'll show you the screws and stuff that I've used to get everything squared away. So let's get to cracking. I'll be back in a few seconds, I guess. Well, the moment of truth finally came, and as you see, it matches up perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bumper put back on. Everything looks excellent. Like, yeah, I think this is going to work. So here are the bolts that are going to replace the original ones that came out. Also, I want to show you something. E-Trailer wants you to remove this sensor. Just unplug it, remove it from right there, and just tuck it on the side. It's not necessary to take the whole thing. As you can see, I probably cut more of the air dam than I probably needed to, but you see why I said it was important to keep those clips, because it's still on there. It ain't going nowhere. So let's go ahead and start getting her put back together. And if I see anything that I need to point out, I'll point it out and give you a tip or two about it.
Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Hanging with the Hazes. Feel free to like us with a quick thumbs up. We always appreciate those. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to send us an email. We'd be more than happy to get back to you. You're also welcome to use the comment section below, and we try to get back to you within about a day's time or so. If we're on the road, it may take a little bit longer, but we look forward to sharing our adventures with you. Thank you so much once again, and we look forward to hearing from you real soon.